Well, I was really interested in the arts when I was very young. My dad was a writer and my mom played the classical piano. So I was really interested in that from a very early age. After university in Wisconsin, I moved to San Francisco. And there I began my career in the arts. But I think I was very different than what was going on in San Francisco. And once I realized that I didn't belong in San Francisco, I moved to New York in the mid-1980s, and then my career started then. I had my first solo exhibition at the Colin Delan's gallery called American Fine Arts. Well, in 1983, I came up with this idea to curate a traveling exhibition about appropriation. And in 1977, there had been an exhibition called Pictures. But in 1983, I organized the first traveling exhibition that went around the United States. So I met Barbara Kruger, Richard Prince, Cindy Sherman. I met a lot of different artists, Sherry Levine. I think Ellipse came out of my obsession with eroticism, with fetishism, so that when I started to see people in the streets, I would concentrate on their lips or their eyes or their ears even. From the very beginning, I was obsessed with that. In my second exhibition with American Fine Arts, I showed, in 1990, I showed lips and eyes. And so I think since then, so we're talking about maybe 25 years of this kind of obsession with that. But I like the fact that one could create one's own story with each picture. I think the lips began as an obsession with women, but then as time passed, I would go to certain clubs and talk to prostitutes and ask them if I could photograph their lips. In the early 1990s, I got a chance to travel to Paris. So I met actors in Paris and models, and I photographed their lips as well. And so I look at these pictures as paintings as well. It's another form of painting. It's more conceptual, perhaps, oriented, but I also want them to be very sensual pictures. I think we're in a very interesting period because having been around the art world for a while, say since the early 1970s, I've noticed that we go through these cycles in the art world. We have painting, like pop art, and then it comes conceptual performance art, installation art. So I think the same thing happened in the 80s. In the 1980s, there was more painting. Julian Schnabel, David Salle, painters like that. And then in the beginning, in the early 1990s, photography, conceptual projects came back again. So I think now we're in this other part of the cycle of what is accepted as popular in the art world. But I think that my work tries to transcend that idea, and I try to see it more as a sensual object. They can have conceptual approaches to them, but it's still a sensual object.